this is Vargas, and I am back again with my bi-weekly DVD pickups. These are the movies that I've picked up through Movie Freak Bazaar in the last 2 weeks since I shared my last DVD pickup video. A lot of blind buys, a lot of movies that I know nothing about, but I bought because they look interesting. And as a movie collector, I like to blind buy a lot of movies. Unfortunately, I don't always have the time to watch them, especially where I'm at. But it is my hope that one day things calm down in my life and I can actually enjoy the movies that I collect. But this is what I got. And the first thing I picked up, I actually didn't get this one through Movie Freak Bazaar. I got this at a flea market. The only thing I picked up on a quick trip to a flea market. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, this is Michael Jackson's second best album. The first one is Thriller. Thriller, to me, is the best Michael Jackson album of all time. And the second one is Off the Wall, which I think is the the album that released before Thriller. At least that's how I remember it. And after Thriller, it was Bad. Bad is good, but I like this a lot more. I like the funky beats that it has. I like more of the songs in this one than I do in Bad. So yeah, in my opinion, second best Michael Jackson album, right after Thriller. Bad would probably be the third best. Picked this one up through Movie Freak Bazaar. It's to the best of my knowledge, it's a music festival, but it has a lot of techno beats, and it's a long running festival. And this is one of the later ones, but it's Thunderdome Die Hard 2, a 4-disc set with a lot of tracks in it. I was listening to some samplers of this on YouTube, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Not a huge fan of techno music, but this sounded interesting, so I picked it up through him. Also, I really like Baby Metal, which is this pop metal fusion that released I think already 10 years ago. Really like Baby Metal. I'm trying to track down more of their CDs, but it's really hard because it's a Japanese band. But in the same vein as that, I picked up through Movie Bazaar Band Made, which is similar to Baby Metal. I still like Baby Metal more, but I've heard music from them, and I've also wanted to get some more of their albums. And Movie Freak Bazaar had this, so I picked it up when he put it on sale. Because I like Baby Metal because it's this interesting mix of metal, but with Japanese pop. And this is not the same as Baby Metal, but I also like the rhythm that this band has. I'm sorry. So yeah, I wanted to add that. And Movie Freak Bazaar doesn't usually carry video games, and when he does, if it's something that I'm interested in, I'll pick it up. And in this one occasion, he had a 3DS game, and it's Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits. I have the first one on 3DS, and it's kind of like Pokemon. And it was huge in Japan, and they tried to get the same thing here in the US, but it didn't quite work out. They had a cartoon and the video games. The video games are pretty solid. They're pretty cool. Again, very similar to Pokemon, but you capture ghosts that have special abilities on humans. And yeah, also had a cartoon, but I don't think it caught on as big as Pokemon. But the games are pretty solid, so pick that one up. I think there's 3 of them, so I'm missing the third one. On to the movies. Blind Mike, don't know anything about this movie. Taras Bulba. It's from the 60s, and it looks like it might be an epic movie. The thing about older movies is that they didn't have any CGI, so they had to build these lavish sets and hire thousands of extras and have these. If it was an epic movie with big battles, then they had a lot of extras battling. So I found a respect for those older movies because there's a lot more craftsmanship behind them. Because they couldn't cheat with computer effects. They had to film everything with a lot of people. and I'm being attracted. I find myself being attracted to those older movies now. So I picked this one up hoping it's good. I do not know if it's good. So I'm hoping it is. Picked up Deception with Hugh Jackman and Ewan McGregor. Don't know anything about it, but picked it up because of those two guys. Another one I don't know anything about, Exit Zero. Looks like it's a movie about I don't think it's a haunted hotel, but it might be a hotel where they kill people based on the cover alone. Maybe. I'm trying to get as many of these Tartan Asia Extreme releases as I can, just like the Dragon Dynasty releases, because the Dragon Dynasty is martial arts and they're numbered, and this Tartan Asia Extreme releases are pretty cool. They have a lot of special features, and they release sometimes horror, but sometimes thriller movies. And this is from the director of The Eye, the Asian version, and the Asian version of Bangkok Dangerous. So, might be interesting. Old Boy had a Tartan Asia Extreme release, and I want to get that one. This one I picked up because James Rolfe, a couple of years ago in Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, he talked about this movie, and it sounded interesting, but it's an older movie from the 30s. So it's kind of hard to come across those older movies. But Movie Freak Bazaar had this, and it's the Frey Ray collection with The Most Dangerous Game, which, as James mentioned it's about this wealthy guy that kind of lives like in an island, and he purposely sinks ships so that the survivors wash ashore, and then he can go hunt them down. So that sounds very interesting. And the bonus one is The Vampire Bat, which I know nothing about, but it was interesting to me because of The Most Dangerous Game. So yeah. This one, all I know is that it's another movie from the 60s. It looks like it might be a crime thriller, and that looks interesting to me. And it's Doggy Dog. No idea what it's about, but it looks trippy. Now this one I do know about, and it's one that I never thought I would find. But I found a copy thanks to Movie Freak Bazaar, and it's The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town. I grew up with these stop-motion cartoons, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And this one is very similar to Santa Claus. Even it shares the name, but it also has the same narrator, voiced by Fred Astaire. And in that one he was a mailman, and this one he's a train guy. But the story is very similar to Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, visits this town where the authority figure doesn't want him there because he's spreading joy and he wants everyone to be bitter. Same thing here. The Easter Bunny goes into a town where the authority figure doesn't want him there because he doesn't want the Easter Bunny to spread joy. The only difference is that, it's actually no difference. Much like Santa Claus, he has to find a way to hide the presents. The Easter Bunny has to find a way to hide the eggs that he delivers, because he also has to deal with a bear. And I'm just a sucker for these kind of movies. I love stop motion animation, and it's very, very, very. It's a complete ripoff of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, just with the Easter Bunny. But I love these kind of movies. I want to collect as many of these. I think I already have most of them. I might be wrong. I might be forgetting another one. But this one is one I didn't think I would find, and I found. Picked this biopic because it's about Marilyn Monroe, and I kind of have a Marilyn Monroe collection going, and it's my week with Marilyn. The problem with these biopic movies is that, for the most part, they're a bunch of hooey. They're not based on any. They're based on a real person, but everything around them sometimes it's all fake or glamorized for the movie. So I don't know how accurate the events of this movie might actually be. I'd have to watch it and then research it afterwards. But yeah, pick that one up. Another blind buy I know nothing about, but it stars Ben Kingsley, Kate Mara, and Woody Harrelson. It's Trans-Siberian. which based on the description, it's a crime thriller, and those tend to be really cool. Picked this one up just because of the cover, because it looks steampunkish and with a little bit of magic, and that's right up my alley. It's called Abigail. No idea what it's about, but it looks cool. This one I do know what it's about, and I've been avoiding this movie because it's not the best one. But I picked up Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and I really like Mad Max. I really like The Road Warrior, but Beyond Thunderdome is just, it's not as good. Or at least I would probably have to watch it again or marathon all three movies. But I remember it not being that good. It has Tina Turner. I remember it not being that good. But I needed it for my Mad Max collection because I'm only missing Fury Road, and now I'll have all four. Even though Fury Road doesn't, it's Mad Max, but it doesn't star Mel Gibson, obviously. But it's, the same thing. But yeah, just this one. And if anyone remembers Spoonie in his reviews, he would always reference this one. It was his running gag to see how you can shoehorn a Beyond Thunderdome reference. And but I always avoided it because I remember not being that good. I will freely admit that I was a Gleek. I started watching Glee and I loved it. The first 3 seasons, solid seasons, really cool. 4th season, kind of lost me, and then I kind of lost interest. But I had an opportunity to go to the concert tour that they had. They were going to do a show in San Diego, and I was going to go with one of my friends, but I wimped out and I didn't go, and I regret it. But this is Glee, the concert, the movie, which is just a movie with highlights from the concert tour. I have the first 3 seasons of that show, and now I have this, and that's pretty much it. This one I picked up, and it's a movie that I've skipped either because I always find it in full screen, or because it's legitimately a bad movie. Now, I think I always justify my collecting in these videos, but I'm a movie collector. I'm a movie lover. Lately, I've become a movie hoarder because I buy so many movies and I don't actually get to watch them. But I like collecting movies. I like movies in general. I like bad movies. I like good movies. But this movie's bad, but it's part of history of how bad it is. And it's Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat, writing off the success of The Grinch, which I prefer the cartoon, the short cartoon. It's short, the animation is great, the narration by Boris Karloff is great. It's perfect. The Grinch movie, I didn't like it that much. I decided I didn't like it. I was not a fan of The Grinch. But this one is trying to write off the success of that, because The Grinch was a successful movie, and then just takes a huge dump on the work of Dr. Seuss, on the career of Mike Myers. It's a horrible movie. It's not funny. It's ugly. It's an ugly movie to look at. And I've seen it a bunch of times, but again, only full screen. This is widescreen. That's why I bought it. And I also bought it because it's part of history in the film history in a bad way. And I have a lot of movies that are bad, but I have in my collection because of that. And it's my dream that after the plague thing goes away, I can organize movie parties and sit down, get a couple of people together that enjoy movies, and just watch really bad movies and really good movies and stuff like that. But yeah, The Cat in the Hat is a horrible movie, and it's not in the bad. It's good. It's just bad, in my opinion. This one I picked up because it's the opposite. It looks like a low budget bad movie, but might be good. I like bad movies like Python or Boa and stuff like that. And this is Big Bugs with Bad Attitudes Bite Me. And I thought this was a bootleg disc, but it's actually not, because the border doesn't fit the screen, the case, I'm sorry. So I thought it was a bootleg, but no, it's actually meant to look like that. So it looks it's supposed to look like a bootleg DVD, but it looks really low budget. But it might actually be fun. I've come across a lot of blind buy movies that I buy because they look interesting to me because I'm a sucker for. I've mentioned this before. I grew up watching a lot of movies on TV, and they would pass really bad movies, but I grew up loving them, like the kung fu movies I've mentioned before. It's just I'm attracted. These are my light, and I'm the moth flying into the light. And sometimes low budget movies, C grade low budget movies are horrible, but I get a laugh out of them. That's just the way I am. So this one might also be in that vein that it might be garbage. Because I have come across movies that are low budget and are legitimately garbage. But sometimes there are just a couple of people that got together, had fun making a movie, and that shows in the movie. Like, this might actually be that people got together, filmed the movie, had fun doing it, and it shows in the end product. Where suppose this is a corporate, lifeless shill of a movie just to try to bank on the success of another Dr. Seuss property, and it blew up in their faces, so big difference to me. Picked up Stay Cool. No, Get Shorty a while ago, and this is the sequel, Be Cool, with John Travolta and Uma Thurman and an all-star cast as well. So I bought this one because it's a sequel to that. Picked up Untraceable, which this movie would really resonate better in modern times. This movie's about a FBI agent played by Diane Lane who is tracking down this killer that is streaming the murders that he does. And it's this big plot about revenge, but also to show just how messed up people are that they actually watch this because this viewer count goes up. So I think this would work a lot better in modern times as opposed to nowadays. I mean, it would work better nowadays as opposed to when this movie came out. But yeah, really resonates a lot more nowadays because of all the people that are streaming and they're showing more and more of their personal lives. So yeah. Speaking of bad movies, I picked up Volcano. Another one of those bad movies that I find incredibly enjoying. This, in my head, this came out the same as Dante's Peak, and Dante's Peak is a more serious one, even though it has a lot of questionable things. And this was the fun, cheesy movie with the preposterous plot and the preposterous effects, and yeah, just picked it up because, yeah, there was this time where there was a lot of movies coming out at the same time. There was this big serious one, like Dante's Peak or Volcano or Armageddon and Deep Impact. Deep Impact was the serious one, and Armageddon was the fun, stupid one. So yeah, both are good, but you can probably guess which one I enjoy the most. And the last one I picked up is Barbarella, Queen of the Galaxy. I've always heard about this movie. I've never actually seen it, so I don't have any point of reference to it. I just always know about Barbarella. The name is parodied in a lot of media. Best comparison I always hear from people is that it's a lot like Flash Gordon. The not the serials, but the other weird movie that came out. But this one came out in the 60s, so it might be trippy, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to popping this one in and finally watching Barbarella. So yeah, that was the collection pickup video. A long video, probably, because I have a lot to talk about. I always recommend the best standout things, so I'm going to go with Barbarella. It's probably going to be really good. And of the ones that I've seen and that I can definitely recommend, I am going to go with The Easter Bunny. If I, grew up on these movies, and they're very cool. Now I'm trying to get all these holiday movies as a tradition for my kids. I already have a bunch of the Christmas ones. Have a bunch of the Halloween ones. I'm missing the Halloween tree, and now I have the Easter one. So awesome sauce. Well, thanks so much for hearing me go on and on about movies. But if you watch my videos and follow my channel, that's what you hopefully expect. Please rate, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment if possible, and stay safe in these still crazy times. And until I see you all again, this was Vargas, thanking everyone that watched all the way through, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.